Alright guys, can you hear me? Hello?
Yup.
Good to hear, good to hear. How's everybody doing so far? I'm gonna just like check the VC chat here and just let me know how you guys are doing so far with the market overall, and just give me an update on your positioning as well. What's the major positioning that we have in the market, and what sort of like setups that you guys may be in? Let me share my screen as well, I guess. Entire screen, I guess screen 2 right here. And let me know if you can see my screen. Shorted, okay? Maybe mention your entry and the pair that you're trading as well. Shorted can mean a lot of stuff. Maybe that means you shorted here, here, or much higher, I guess. Just blew an evaluation on breakout, but I'm liquid everywhere else. That's alright. Well, I guess that if you're trading like evaluations on like the funded accounts, I guess you would have a stop loss, no? Sarkar said, luckily was in no position in MCF, just shorter VC day before yesterday. No spot bought. A real life friend of mine who I went to like to a party with, like my birthday party with, he held like almost 50 BTC worth of short from like here, and he closed it just like around here because like it was supposed to be my birthday and we were supposed to do like a party and stuff, and then he just like closed his trade on this like momentum right here, and we all of us like checked our charts by the time price was here, and then he missed out on like almost like $1 million worth of P&O, and now he's like pretty much depressed. So I guess like your guys' days is not going as bad as his, unless you have lost pretty much all of your money, I guess. Which I know some people, and people wouldn't like share it because they don't want to be in the spotlight that they have taken such huge L's, which is common, which is normal. But I know some people here have like lost a lot of money as well. And if you're honest about it with me, I could try to advise you, you know, of something, because I've seen a lot of like these dumps pretty much a lot of time occur in this market. Let me just take a look at what like everybody's. This guy shorted, doing not bad. I have a bit of hype spot. 39.5. We'll check on that a bit later. Shorted E at 4341 and close 3600, which is good. Did MCF mess guys up because of slippage? Cause like slippage pretty much like is very normal to occur in illiquid moves like this. But as long as your stop was not like, let's just say you take a trade here and your stop loss is like here, your slippage would probably be somewhere within this bracket range or even this bracket range. But if your risk was like 2R, 1R, then you should not have like blown your accounts. But if your risk was like, or your stop was much lower and your risk was just like demanaged, then of course you would probably like lose a lot of money on some slippage. Usually people just like size up on like trades, and then they end up losing. Good XPL and Astra short. Um, let's check the crypto chat. What's like everybody taking or doing? This guy's doing good. WBC. This guy's not doing so good, but that's like 233 USDT. Let's talk on the overall sentiment of the market. I see Peter as well in the call. Peterman, can you hear me? Hello. I don't think he's in the call. Well, let's just take a look at what like is going on BTC right here. Let me just like remove a bunch of this here. Okay, so basically what happened here was if you remember my last Twitch stream, and that was like I think like one day ago on like Thursday, me and like Mondo were pretty sure that we're like price is pretty cooked, and price was like pretty much like trending down around here, and we were like, as long as you don't fade the momentum, you're gonna make a lot of money. And momentum, as we discussed it a lot of time, momentum was pretty bearish. And knowing that like a lot of delta is just like trapped into these highs, it was very obvious and very common that it was gonna like end up moving down. Not like this sort of aggressive move down. This is like just a liquidation cascade. So the move was supposed to happen, but not as aggressive as what I'm seeing right here. Wait, whose mic is this? Guys, I'm gonna have to mute like people who's like maybe like doing some sort of buffering in the back end. Okay, so the move was not supposed to be as aggressive as this, but wait, who's this guy? Let me just like mute everybody's are on, or you can just like mute yourself. Right. The move wasn't supposed to be like this aggressive, but like anything can happen in crypto markets. So we're just gonna suppose like that did happen, but it was pretty obvious and like visible that there's just based off of momentum. You can see downward moves are very fast compared to any sort of upward moves, and it's just based off of momentum. It was very obvious that we're pretty much like likely to head for a move down, which let me just take a look at it. I'm pretty sure I made a post about it in alpha maybe. That beware of yeah, right here. This was not so long ago, like just 1 month ago. I was like, how to prep for like a -10 to like 5% or 15% candle nuke that could happen or occur any hour. It just happens randomly most of the time. Usually in a pre-close session, usually in a very illiquid session, that is like the moment like daily like closed happen, the daily open is somewhere around here, and that's a shitty level as well. If you're below daily value and you have already occurred with a -16%, the which I'm gonna talk about in a minute. Let me just like mark this level as like daily open right here for my remembering. Okay, what you wanted to look for was like, because this sort of PA can happen anytime. This could happen any day. It was not supposed to be happening today. If the liquidation event was due, it could have happened tomorrow. It could have happened like 2 days later. But like this is pretty much the PA that sort of like defines what sort of like could happen or could represent like a very big new candle incoming, and the period pretty much looks like this. And if you see the momentum kick in, which if you take a look at it, what I've been talking about is just like bearish momentum all here. And what bearish momentum is like, downward moves are pretty fast compared to like upward moves. They pretty much stall, and then downward moves are pretty fast. And that sort of like PA eventually forms up a grind structure, which if you like zoom out would look something like this, and then eventually that like leads to a further move down. And knowing that we were at a all-time high level, we had trapped quite a lot of liquidity, which I just like tweeted about it. Like people were so happy about all-time highs and breakouts, but we've barely moved like 14% above the all-time high that occurred like last year, not even like this year, that occurred like last year. We're barely like 14% above that, right? Which could be a huge feat, but for a coin like BTC and people who are investing like tens of thousands of dollars, it's not too much, and it's never gonna be enough. So we haven't really been like just breaking out. We've just been trapping a lot of delta, and a lot of that delta like in this months and months of range just got cleared today, and a lot of liquidation was done, which I guess you could have prepared for it like me, being in USDT for quite a couple of weeks and months. Or you could have just like put stop losses on all of your trades instead of like just giga holding spot, which I know somebody who did, which I've just been confronted. A friend of mine like holded some Dodge, and I don't know if he's in the call. A friend of mine like held onto Dodge, and what happened is like he bought somewhere around here, like on the nuke. Let me just like open Dodge. He bought somewhere around here, and he just did not really pay attention to the spot. And now he's down, let's say, that's a lot of money. He's down a lot of money, but he's like almost back up to minus 20%. Which the shitty thing about this sort of PA is that in a liquidation event, there's only two situations that really make sense to get out of this. The first is, first of all, let's talk about the POI that it like bounced from. This POI, the Valkyrie low, has been on my chart for months. It's literally been on my chart ever since price broke out this level. And since we tapped it, we pretty much like rotated all the way down to the lowest rotation we could do. So that's pretty good. If you had just like rotated down till here, we would still have a lot of liquidity just sitting down here. So we would likely expect and suspect that price would like eventually just go down much lower. That would be a more confirmed scenario. But knowing that we have pretty much like taken a lot of available liquidity and visible liquidity, one of the better two scenarios is the first scenario is that we pretty much like retrace this entire move down. That is like we had like this sort of a move. We pretty much retrace this entire move down, do a break structure from that sell-off initiated. The moment we do like a break structure and grind into that sell-off initiation, we're gonna like rotate all the way back up to the all-time high. And this has to happen very fast. If this is not a fast move, then it's not gonna happen. This has to happen like within this week, within the next 72 hours, or within the next 4 to 5 days. That's it. And if this does not happen during that time, within the specific time limit, that's gonna stall price. That's gonna build up a lot of positions, and what that's likely gonna do is it's gonna put us into an insufferable range, and that insufferable range is gonna make us range in this choppy structure where we're gonna take the swing high, which was the point of initiation of the sell-off, and the swing low, which is the point of the lowest support right here, and we're just gonna chop within this and compress within it for months and months. And that's what we talked about. Like let me just like go much higher time frame, give you an understanding of what could likely go on. And if the chart loads right here, if you take a look at what happened at like a bottom structure, and if you compare it to like current market structures, you would see can I draw like keep drawing? Okay. Okay, this is not what I wanted. Let me just like delete a bunch of this. Okay, so if you see this like bottom structure move right here, you're gonna see there's usually a very high sell-off that happens whenever there's sort of like a bottom move or accumulation to form. There's usually a sell-off, then there is a range, and it looks something like this. There is distribution, pretty nice distribution right here. There is a sell-off off of that distribution, and that sell-off like simply fades out and that sell-off fades out into buys, and that ends up as accumulation. Pretty much the same thing that happens here, and that accumulation could go on for months. This accumulation went on for like November 22nd, and this is where I bought like a lot of gold, by the way. This is where I was shilling gold to buy everybody to buy gold back then. And this went on for like November 22nd till like January 23rd. That was like, I think 1, 2, 3. That was like 3 to 4 months of PA that took place here. And this sort of like PA is something that usually happens a lot. We get like a sort of a dumpy structure like we have done here. And the easiest way out of this, if the price does not retrace, like look at this, if the price does not retrace it within the next 72 hours or the 96 hours, within the next 4 to 5 days, it's likely that we are going to end up in these insufferable ranges for the next 3 months or 2 or 3 months, right? Since we have like come into a pretty nice POI, we have taken a lot of liquidity. Let's just assume this scenario right here. We pretty much like take out major liquidity like this low here. We take out like major liquidity like this low here as well. This is the daily chart. If you go on the hourly, this is both of these like major liquidity, okay? So we sweep that major liquidity and we pretty much retrace the entire move within like the next 72 hours or probably like the next 4 to 5 days, right? And that's what I see here. Major liquidity pretty much like taken right here. And if you do not retrace pretty much all of it by forming some sort of like structure like this, retrace it within this sort of like time frame, it's likely that we are going to end up in a situation where price just simply starts to range within this structure, and then it just forms a range like this. And what that would do is like that would form for us like a sort of a value area in this entire range. And that would just, this is a very shit value area actually. That would sort of form a structure, like a balanced structure right here, and that would look something like this. Now, that sort of structure leads us to a 50-50 probability. That does not mean necessarily that it's going to go, that sort of structure is going to lead for a higher breakout. The only scenario that's going to lead for a higher breakout is if we like end up being retraced right away. And if you take a look at this structure right here as well, gets retraced very efficiently right away, takes out like major liquidity, usually in a very huge FVG, usually in a very huge imbalance of the market. And maybe there's more examples of this, but yeah. So and one more thing that I personally observe on this BTC pair, this since price is fractal, and this may all just be like shizo work, but like you have to understand like price is fractal. The thing is like whenever this sort of dump happens, and if it happens into not a pivotal like imbalance move like this, what happens is like usually this sort of move happens in a POI, usually a higher low, and that takes up a lot of like time as well in forming a range. It's like this is ended up in like a higher low structure right here, so it could likely form that sort of range. But it's just that this let me just like mark it out. So if you mark out like like Fibonacci and then just keep into consideration like a 0.5, you're gonna see, oh maybe I'm not on the logarithmic, that's why the 0.5 is so high, but usually it's gonna be like around here. So let me just see if I can turn the chart logarithmic. Oh, it's logarithmic, maybe regular. Oh yeah. So if you take a look at the chart right here, and since we were like below discount right here, we were pretty much below like a prior discount. We were not really moving into premium. That's why any sort of like this range that formed for months after like a nuke down usually led to a move up. But knowing that we are pretty much like in a higher time frame move, we are not in a discount of like any sort of setup right here. We're pretty much like way above premium for current price. It's likely that any sort of range that forms up is going to go for a move further down. That's likely going to be the result of any sort of range that ends up happening here. So again, the best form is to expect that BC just like boom, just straddles, grinds up all the way, leaving everybody behind, and then boom, it does that. But if it does not do that within the specific time frame, it's pretty much cooked. Um, do you let me see if there is any questions. How do you what do you mean exactly by driving deltation? But there's no data because much better than code these days. Okay. Um, wait, I just saw Finn join. Finn, how are you doing? Peter is on the call as well. How are you guys doing? Good to know. The silver trade has outperformed Bitcoin maxis. That was a beautiful trade. XRP. Who just said XRP? Yeah, it was a like. Yeah, this is silver, dude. I still have it open. My only regret is not buying enough silver. I should have like bricks of it, but I have gold instead, which again, getting outperformed by Finn. Check XRP. XRP, let me just check XRP real quick. XRP, USDT. Why do I have this? Wow, that's just like. Wait. RIP. insane. The moves are insane. Yeah, imagine being a bull, like waiting for like this amount of like time for something to happen, and then imagine being a bear. But the thing about bears is like most of them are retarded and they just like get liquidated shorting higher lows. But imagine being a bear that's like good on execution. You just get like one lottery of a trade, and boom, you make pretty much everybody's money that they made over like span of like 3-4 years in just one day. Head them into zero. What? Insane. How low of a move this is. Wait, did this go? Excuse me. Great. Zero. Oh, he did went to zero. Good to see. Good to see. Is anybody long on something or has like bought some sort of like spot? One setup, by the way, one setup that I'm looking at right here would be like a short setup. And I know shorts are a bit of an overextension for the price. That's boom, that's happened. But like if you remember the good and bad scenario that we always talk about, there's a grind and there's a breakdown. But the trigger for a new trade is always at this specific structure where it's a make and break level. If it could like go and do a break structure and start grinding, it's gonna retrace the entire move all the way up. But if it does not do that, there's stalling in that sort of momentum and there's rejection. It's likely that move ends up going much slower. It's just like a trendy tactic, which is what I am taking a look at the moment. Price is like pretty much trying to break higher, but there's no sort of there's again like more delta trap, just like right here, which is like if it starts to like break down, shows any sort of momentum, it's likely that we go all the way down to this like POI, which is very important because like these moves are very big. This is like $1,000 move, just this much of PA. If you just scalp it from, if you just go on the 5 second chart, and if you just like scalp it from like here to the current price, like from this price to like this price, you're trading $1,000 worth of move. So these are like pretty significant moves that are going on because this entire move is like, I think it's like, yeah, $16,000 worth of moves. So you like any sort of like moves right here could be profitable, and any sort of rejection, even the minute of it, like could lead to a very significant change in directions for PA. Your level if breaks likely. Bought some Astra, Trust and Cartel. What's your Astra looks good. Astra looks good. So does like Dodge. I'm trying to find more coins that have like retraced all the way back up, and are still showing strength in comparison to like other pairs. Maybe we could pull up. Today I lost every trade I took on the group. 45 trade. Zcash, of course. Zcash has been outperforming. That's pretty cool. A lot of money rotations in it. I guess I'll take a trade on Zcash. I'll take a trade on like Astra and Dodge for now. Does anybody have any sort of coins? Hype. So I did not. I took a look at Hype before. Let me just like. This is Mondo's duplicate tab and Hype USDT. Hype does not Um, I did not check hype. I just checked hype. The thing is, like, a lot of these coins are like at a lower high pivot. What I need for every coin like here to do is to do a structure like this where it goes all the way back up to the lower high, like just continues. The thing is like the structure that I am looking for to trade is, let's just say this is the initiation of the nuke and this is the low of the nuke and price rejects here again. But what it does is starts to low hold and then it starts to like form structure like this, and even if it doesn't go all the way here, you're gonna be able to recognize this sort of structure and then just ape on that sort of trade. And even better, the moment it like starts to break that initiation of that like nuke structure, you can get another sort of ape of a trade right here, because those coins are the ones that are going to lead the bullish move and the momentum mostly. So if you see coins like ZEC right here, Zcash, and if you see this specific structure and only this structure, nothing else is acceptable. If you see only this sort of structure, let me know what coin that is. We're gonna be gambling on that. This is a very good list. We could take a look at Zero and Cash as well, and just see if the structure is similar to what I'm trying to look for. There are USDT. Too high of a time frame. This is the same sort of structure that I'm like mentioning right here. Zero is a good coin. So I'll just like Cas as well. Let's take a look at Cas. Oh, Dodge is pretty much like doing that sort of same structure. So Dodge, Zek, and Zero as well. Astra is on the way as well. Astra is trying to form it. I will not take my eye off of like Astra as well. Let me just like duplicate the tab right here and take a look at Cas. Cas is not the Cas looks more like a gamble to me, unless there is, I don't know, some sort of PI. Oh, there's like, this is a good sweep. Just based off of the sweep, I would think that this is a good trade. But yeah, some momentum needs to kick in it. XLM and HUSDT. XLM. Going to the lower time frame. XLM is good as well. I see that sort of like structure. So the coins that I'd be looking for right here would be, well, Astra is not doing as good as like Dodge, Sec, Zero, or XLM. If you just like ape on all 3 or 4 of these coins, you're gonna like get a nice trade. Let me take a look at HU. Like Peter Ming's list is very goated. It's just like and he's in so he's just like alerts and indicators. HUSDT Sports as well. I'm pretty sure they would have like the same sort of structure. Maybe like open another tab right here. HUSDT. Okay, there we go. Same sort of structure. We are. This is the blueprint of a structure you want to look for. This is the sort of like entry triggers that you want to look for, and boom, yeah, this is like four sort of like entry triggers that you'll be able to do. And these are the 4 pairs. If you just like ape in all of these coins, you're likely to make money, while BTC just like chops the fuck and does pretty much nothing, and maybe even like goes down later on. But in the meantime, you're gonna be able to like get multiple 2-hour trades if you're smart with like positioning. If you just like ape into it and then just take TP quick. Good night, Finn. Yeah, Zek looks pretty good because there's a lot of like momentum, and so it's like usually the coins that I want to trade are the ones that have this sort of like momentum on them and are vocal in the community. So Zek is the most Zek out of like all of these coins. Zek is the one that's like mostly vocal in the community right now. So if you just like ape Emon right now, you would be able to like get a 1 or 2 hour trade. if you're smart, because I know some people, they're gonna like ape into a trade, maybe like go stop loss like this, and they're just boom, they're just gonna aim for like a trade like this, and they're not gonna like properly manage the trade, and they're gonna end up in losses most of the time. That's why I don't like share setups so quick with y'all. Cake as well, cake or bonk. A lot of coins to look at. Wait. Let's take a look at Cake USDT. Cake's doing pretty well as well. It has apparently hit some POI of mine. No, it's pretty much, wow, it's taken a lot of liquidity. This was probably one of the worst dumps I have ever seen. Just like a flush. Wow, this is just like a flush against the entire market. Wow. Pretty nice to see. So like Cake looks nice as well. And now this is a list of coins that I'm gonna be gambling on. Zach, I have managed to take like I just like gamble from my phone, but like I'll try to manage that as well. There's like Zach, there's Zero, there's XLM, there's like HUSDT, then there's like what other coin was I looking at? There's like Zero, HUSDT Cake. The other coin that I was gonna look at was like Bonk. Sorry, not here. Uh, Bonk USDT. If you take a look at Bonk, you don't have to take a look at VIF or Keep as well. They pretty much like are the same sort of like coin. Catching momentum, which is nice, I see some momentum right here. Tradable. All of these pairs tradable, out of which I like Zcash the most. Let me take a look at like Sky. There's Sky. Sky USDT. And what I'm gonna just like. I mean, all of these could like end up with a nice long. Uh, Let me just like open another tab actually. No reload tab, just like duplicate the tab. Sky is what I was gonna look for. Sky looks pretty good as well. More momentum kick in. This sort of like grindish structure is what you wanna. Where's not where was I explaining this setup? Oh my god. Yeah, this is the sort of structure that you want to look for. This is just a grind up uh like this right here. What is this? Zero did. It's not like uh. So Ragamuffin asked like Zero didn't make it above the high, which is something I said like it needs to make above the high. But even before it makes above the high, you have to like recognize momentum. You have to recognize OI build up just through PA alone. And if you want to be like more efficient, like Peter Ming at it, you can like have alerts on the pairs as well. Based off just like TVAPs and OI indicators in the first place, you can ask Peter Ming for those. Maybe it's paid by him, so you can just like get it from him. So you have to like recognize the sort of like momentum just before that confirmation occurs, because you get a better trade of the start of the momentum. Yeah, like Zero, XLM. Some of these are stalling, like if you see HUSDT, then not the best pair. There's a quick stall on it. Cake instead, Cake went pretty well. Nice. So just like these sort of pairs, if you like ever want to like a pair trade and just trade on betas, most of the time if I mention like I'm trading on beta, after taking a position of on BTC, what I usually do is like I just like take a long, let's say I take a long setup on BTC for like 2 hour, or expecting it to like go all the way to the highs. what I do when I take beta trades is just like go all long pretty much without stops on pretty much everything, and on the earliest signs of rejection or distribution, I just like close it long in a profit, because most of the time they're just like slowly gradually moving up. So usually those sort of trades end up pretty profitable in beta. Render. Render I have not taken a look at. Bonk USDT. Bonk is gonna have like this sort of cake candle right here, like boom, one candle like this as well. Most likely. What was I gonna look at actually? I was gonna take a look at render RNDR USDT. Render is very nice as well. Very nice. You don't even have to ask me. You don't even have to wait for confirmation. If you see just this sort of like TVAP going on like pairs after this sort of flush, just say onto a trade. Never be like minimized or shift all your focus on the major pairs, because they're not really doing shit. And for especially if it's BTC or if it's like Ethereum, they're not really doing much. They're just like chopping most of the time. Like this entire time while the price was like chopping right here for like 2 hours, every single other pair was like going up, right? And this is like recognized for like OI buildup or just momentum. So the moment you see this sort of like setup happen, just like ape into trades. The later you are to the trend, the more vulnerable you are to like profits and stuff like that. Yep, yep, yep. There we go. Do you think they will retrace the wick? Well, I think it would depend. Like, this is a good question. Like, do you think like they will retrace the wick? Do you mean like this move would retrace like all the way down to this wick, or do you mean like retrace all the way down to like the up of the wick? If you mean like price would retrace all the way down to this sort of the part of the wick, I would like to like just let PA develop for now. It would be too early for me to assume. Like even here, if I see some sort of rejection kicking in while highs are holding, I'll just like partial bit, because I'd be in so many different positions, right? I'll just partial bit. But if I don't see like this sort of reclaim or break out of like the high that I usually talk about, right? And if I don't see that sort of like shift in momentum and shift in trend happen, then I would likely assume that price starts to stall. And if it starts to stall, and which what I was just like explaining, while price is in a premium, if price is in a premium and price starts to stall and chop around, it is likely that it pretty much retraces all the way back to wick and even lower. If it was in a discount of a range, then probably we would have more expectations for price like break out to the upside of the range. What happened with Adam? I did not like keep updates. Did it like just go to zero? Did everybody just like die on it? Yeah, and that's pretty much the update for like this current talk, which I know everybody was like stressed up, and that's the reason why they've like joined this call, because a lot of people are some of the people are have seen a lot of these moves happen, but most of the people here may have like not seen this sort of move happen and don't know what to do. And the only thing that you can do is like take quick trades, very quick trades, like ape onto momentum like this. And the moment the momentum just like fades out or like starts to like, chop out a bit, just like start taking profits. And after that, just like let price develop. And base of that development, base of that reclaim of that initiation of that sell off, you're gonna have your answer of where price is gonna move. And I think I've explained it pretty much and pretty nice in this session. I hope everybody's okay as well. If you guys are in a loss, you are but don't shy away. Yeah, walk a little. Very good advice. Go touch some grass. You got, yeah, because if you're like gonna be trading after losing money, you're gonna be trading based off of emotion. You're gonna just do revenge trades. And if you have lost a bunch of money, don't be shy to talk to us. Do drop some um like updates on your situation, and we could probably advise. We could probably give you support. But the best support that you can give yourself is just go outside, touch some grass, take a walk your dog, and that'd be very helpful to you instead of like towards me. Since I didn't lose any money, and I used to lose a lot of money when I like started out. I think I could try to show you. I think it was like around this dump and this dump. I lost like everything twice. Once here, and I lost a lot of money around here as well. And whenever this sort of like move happened, I had like no idea. I had like no sort of visible understanding on what the fuck is gonna happen next. And out of like having experienced so many of these like moves, I have come to the conclusion that only like these two scenarios and three scenarios happen, and the way you play it is like quick trades, and the way you like just like play it off is quick trades, cut off whenever there's like stalling momentum, and then just based off of that just trade. And whenever there's like more development in PA, just let it develop. That's pretty much it. Yeah, a lot of market got blown up. Yeah, you are not alone. And never quit. If you are working towards an edge, never quit. Because if I quit like after having lost my money one, two, or three times, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be trading. I wouldn't be like teaching a bunch of people. I wouldn't be sharing my trades and my thoughts. I wouldn't be like making money at all. So just be mindful about this. Quitting will not help you in a financial market. Financial markets will move without you, and they're always gonna move. Well, and like I said, just don't be shy away to like share your situation, share your updates. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you Peter for the kind support and the banger altcoin list. Well, I hope like everybody can have like a good night and enjoy their weekend. Let just let PA develop, take quick trades. That's all you can do here. People don't have a plan. If this is the top, either will be. That's true. That's true. Most people do not have a plan. Even I, like, if you take a look at the explanation I did, even I right now have to wait for PA to develop to give you a proper sign of an indication of where price may be going. So this it's normal. Like this is the market. It's a 50-50 probability, and you're not here to predict. You're here to trade. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Again, if you have any sort of questions or any sort of concerns, just hit them up in the Go to Crypto chat. Thank you so much, Peter, for the piece of advice. See y'all later. Goodbye. It's okay. It's very normal, and भाई लाइट ऑन करी साथ ये ला दे जरा